ninths are probably way cooler than you think. Okay, so quick review. What is a ninth? A ninth is an extension of a chord that spans 9 scale degrees, or an octave and a whole step. It can also be transposed into a single octave, in which case it can be seen that it occupies the same note as the second scale degree. When we're talking in chord talk, we never say second. We always call it a ninth, because even though we can put this note in any octave, extensions are considered an add-on, an addition to the chord rather than a fundamental part of it, and also because it sounds cool and nerdy. There are some occasions, such as suspended chords, where the second scale degree can be integrated without being considered a ninth, and this is because the second scale degree is no longer an add-on, but rather a fundamental part of the chord now, and that's why it's labeled a suspended chord and not a major chord or a minor chord or a diminished chord or something. But that's not what we're going to be focusing on today. So what makes ninths awesome for when you're improvising? It's a really easy and versatile way to add colorful flair to what you play. Ninths work almost anywhere, and very often they don't create any awkward dissonance. There are 2 ways that I like to think of when I'm using them. I like to think of them in context to the key, or you can also think of them individually per the chord. So in the context of the key, the first method, you can take whatever key you're currently in, and you can play the note associated with the second scale degree, the ninth. So if I'm in C major, that note would be D. If I play the 1 chord, C major, that D is the ninth. If I play the 2 chord, that D is the root. If I play the minor 3 chord, it's this. If I play that minor 3 chord, it's the 7th. If I play the 4 chord, it's the 6th. If I play the 5 chord, it's the 5th. If I play the 4 chord, if I play the 6th chord, it's the 4th. Because the 6th chord is minor, the 4th doesn't sound like crap like it does with a major chord. The 7th scale degree, the diminished, it's the 3rd, and that brings us back to the root. So basically it works over any of the chords, so it's kind of a safe spot. It can also work with natural minor keys, and even though it's the 4th of the major 6, it's a sharp 4, so it works. Now the second method is also pretty awesome, and that's playing the 9th of each individual chord. In this case, I'm talking about the major 9th of the chord. Now, the 9th sounds great with major chords, but I think it even sounds a little bit better with minor chords. And the major 9th sounds pretty dang good on all the major and minor chords. And even the minor 3, where the major 9th would be the sharp 4 of the key, it actually adds a lot of cool color that you can use in interesting ways. The only downside of this method is it only works on the major and the minor chords, and it does not work on the diminished 7th chord. And with the diminished 7th chord, you can kind of use the minor 9th, but even that's pretty crunchy, and you would most likely only use it as a passing tone. Now, the major 9th sounds pretty dang good on all of the major and minor chords. So if I'm in the key of C again, so I'm playing C major, and if I play the 9th, obviously that sounds pretty good. Go to this minor 2nd, still sounds pretty good. We can go to the minor 3rd, and even though the major 9th would be the sharp 4 of the key, in this case it's F sharp, it actually adds a lot of really cool color. The only downside to this method is that it doesn't work on the diminished 7th chord. And you can still sort of use the minor 9th, but even that is pretty crunchy, and you'd probably most likely only be using it as a passing tone. Alright, now go and practice implementing some more of this sound into your solos. This is Jeffrey. He's kind of fat. Yeah. Go practice.